Hi there, I'm Jane Monzures with DIYbyJane.com. Now, I love to dive into my wardrobe, find something old, and refashion it into something new. I am a DIY designer, and you can be too. So today, we're going to talk about something that a lot of us have too many in our closets and our dressers, and that is T-shirts. So I'm going to show you how to give them a new life and upcraft them into a cook-ready apron. It's so easy, so let's get started. What you're gonna need is 3 T-shirts. You're gonna need some knit fabric and some twill tape. So the first thing we're gonna do is deconstruct our T-shirt. So we've got our T-shirt laid out here. You've got your rotary cutter and a nice cutting mat, and we are just gonna quickly cut off the sleeves. And there's no exact science. You're just gonna get right around the armhole and get that sleeve cut off. There you go. And after that, I'm gonna take my scissors and cut off the shoulders. I like to go cut right here in front of the seam, because then it gives you less seam to worry about, and get through that. And I've already cut up the back. So we're using the front logo, and we're using the sides and the back to create our apron. So we're gonna wanna leave all of this excess fabric. But I do wanna get rid of the collar. So I'm gonna take my straight edge right here, and I'm going to, right underneath the collar, cut and get rid of that. So now I have a logo and I have the sides to use. So let's pin T-shirts 1, 2, and 3 together. So you're gonna deconstruct all 3 shirts, and then we're gonna pin them together. So let's lay them out. I know it feels like a lot of fabric. Don't worry, we're gonna get through that and put it all together, and it'll be a perfect apron for you to use. Okay, so I've got my T-shirt laid out, and I am going to lay out T-shirts 2 and 3 on top. So when you're looking at the shirts here, you want to focus on getting all of the logos straight and even in a nice order right down the center line. Now you'll notice here for T-shirts 2 and for T-shirts 3, I've cut a nice square edge, as you can see. For this, you're gonna use your rotary cutter and straight edge and do a nice square edge, and then you're just gonna fold it over, just like that. And we're gonna top stitch all the way around. So I'm gonna pin the 3 together. I like to use a lot of pins so I know it's secure when I walk over to the sewing machine. You just wanna make sure that it's all laying flat when you head over to the sewing machine. Top tip too, on T-shirt number 3, if you wanna add a pocket, this top portion of the shirt, just fold that in. Maybe do a top stitch on the actual T-shirt, but don't sew it down when you're going to the sewing machine. This can be your pocket. This is where you're gonna put all your cooking utensils and tools. So this is ready to go. Let's take this over to the machine and give it a stitch. We're gonna sew all the way around these pins. I'm just using a regular pressure foot and a nice straight stitch. You can do a lot if you want to do a beautiful top stitch with an alternating thread. What a great idea there. Of course, if you find shirts that are just different colors, you're going to want to match your thread to, if it's a red shirt and then a blue shirt, you can do that too. I like to turn the corners here. This makes it nice and easy. There you go. And you're getting a nice, flat, even stitch all the way around. So when you're looking to, you think to yourself, wow, this is a lot of fabric. So as you're putting this together, we will create a pattern which will remove those armholes from the top T-shirt. So it does create a nice apron and a nice fit for your apron. Here we go. And turning the corners again. Now remember, if you're gonna do those pockets, you're gonna leave one of the holes open on shirt number 3. And I like to reference them, shirt number 1, 2, and 3. It makes it easy for you when you're thinking about it, creating your pattern and sewing. Okay, so we are coming to the end here of our top stitching. Now you're gonna do this all the way around and with all 3 of your shirts. And you don't have to worry too much about this end because we're gonna end up cutting that off anyway. So, whoops, needle up, always good to remember. And so you're gonna sew all three of these together, and we're gonna go over and cut a pattern to cut your shirts into that perfect pattern. Okay, so what I like to do when I'm creating a pattern is use old wrapping paper. Now, the old wrapping paper I use is because it has grid lines in it. It's easy to pin through, and it's easy to work with. So I have an old apron here that I love. I love the way it fits. This is where you can create the length, or you can create how short, but this is where you're gonna get your nice shape for your apron. So you're gonna draw around this, cut it out to create your pattern, and then you're gonna use that pattern to cut your knit fabric. I have the pattern shape here, and look at that, simple and easy. I've cut the back piece for my apron. So yeah, you can be done and just use your 3 t-shirts. I like to make it a little bit more finished and add a back piece in. So I've got my back piece and my front piece. So you'll see the aprons cut here into the apron shape. And you'll notice here that I did cut my logo. Uh-oh, don't worry about that. It's gonna be cut into the seam. It's not an exact science. The logo's big, and you're gonna have different logos on every shirt, but it's gonna end up looking fantastic. So we're gonna add in our ties. I'm gonna start with my ties that go around the neck, and just about a ½ inch in, we're gonna add those on either side to the neck. Make sure they're facing down. I like to add a little tag out to the top, and then I'm just gonna secure those and pin those in place. Here we go. And you're gonna pin right around. Now, the side ties, I do about 14 inches down. You might wanna measure from the chest down to see where you like that tie to be, but I like 14 inches, so I'm gonna add these ties inside here. So when you're thinking about, hey, what kind of back ties and neck ties am I gonna use? You can actually, if you wanna save your scraps from some of that knit, you can actually create your own ties and sew those together and add those. You don't have to use twill tape. You can use really any kind of cording that you have. You can use, maybe you have leftover shoelaces and you wanna recycle those. What a great idea. What a great way to upcycle some of those old clothing and old things that you have. But again, you're gonna pin and get this nice and secure all the way around so we can go back to the sewing machine and sew the top and the bottom together. I actually have an apron that 3 shirts already sewn together. I've sewed 3 sides, so let's just do this last bottom part. And again, a nice straight stitch, super easy. Everybody can do this. It's just about being creative, putting patterns together, picking out your favorite t-shirts. What a great idea. What a great gift this makes, right? For the fan in your house. It doesn't even have to be sports shirts. It could be from your schools that you went to, maybe the states that you lived in. Now you're gonna clean this up and get rid of the threads. I love to clean up the corners here and cut the corners, but I have an opening at the bottom. So for the big reveal, we are gonna turn this inside out. Oh boy, here we go. And we have got a cook-ready apron. There you go. Look at how great that is. It's a great shape. And again, you're gonna wanna make sure these corners are pushed out and pointed. And just to finish it off, you will close up the end, and then add a nice decorative top stitch all the way around, and you've got your pockets right here. So like some of the examples here, if you want it to be a little bit more feminine, I've added this eyelet trim here to the inside, so for the girls. And for the guys, just leave it plain, use your twill tape. This is a perfect upcycled apron for the top chef in your life. So get creative because it's so easy.